A big misconception with low end is that to have a big low end is you got to add more low end, and it's actually more of a management of that low end. And mostly what I'm doing in almost all cases is taking it away. In almost any situation, the mic is picking up a lot of erroneous information that's like really subsonic and low. And while you could make the case is like, yes, it has this sort of intuitive feel when soloed up and being like, I like how it feels better with that extra information in there. You do have to keep in mind that you are blending this and balancing this with a bunch of other things. And so you are going to have to pick winners and losers. And that's an area where it's just a really easy win, in my opinion. But the more I've thought about it from a physics standpoint, it made a lot of sense. That information is down there trying to move the speaker. And so even though you don't hear it, it is information that's being sent to the speaker, and the speaker is attempting to vibrate it. And so you're losing efficiency on the driver. So by having that low end information that you can really only feel and not hear, you are impeding your speaker's ability to really vibrate clearly, essentially, for lack of a better term. So let's take a listen. So again, this is really subtle, and you can hopefully hear a little bit on decent headphones or speakers there at home or in your studio, that it kind of creates like a flip and a presence. And again, it goes back to those physics of like, it's weird down here at 20 hertz. And so there's not really a whole lot of rhyme and reason. And so these little small changes and these nudges are really just a thing you feel out and nuance. And so kind of just, again, having good speakers that are dialed into low end is important. And so you're just kind of sliding this back and forth till it's an area that kind of feels good. And so, yeah, I try not to overthink it too much. And you can kind of hear, like, if I don't hear the sweet spot going back and forth here, I'm just going to go to an extreme and then work my way in from there. And then what I'm doing when I'm sweeping is I'm just trying to play with it a little bit and see what's extra fat and what's really important. And so when I slide back from being way too thin into being thick, I just take it to that minimum moment where I'm like, yes, this feels really thick and rich. And then if I keep moving and I'm not really hearing much difference, then I just stop, because that's all information I don't need in my mix. And that's going to save me a ton of SPLs that really end up coming back to haunt you in mastering. And so these low frequencies, especially from the bass, are almost all what single-handedly determines how, not single-handedly, but it is a major factor in how loud your master turns out.